So now, to introduce our speaker for tonight, we are so lucky to have Paul Park as our first speaker. He's been fully committed to the Nu Skin business since 2010, and he truly has created a global business from all around the world with major groups in South Korea, China, and the US. He gets invited to these countries as a guest speaker to large audiences. But today, here we have him in our living rooms, and I can't wait for you all to hear what he has to say. We'll hear about his story, about why he has chosen Nu Skin as a business, as a lifestyle, and what makes Nu Skin stand out from what we know about other traditional businesses. Let's give a warm welcome to Team Elite, Circle of Excellence 1, Paul Park. Yay!
Thank you, everyone. All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you, Lisa, for that warm introduction. It's so nice to hear my wife talk so highly of me. Again, my name is Paul Park, and I'm excited to share with all of you on how Nu Skin's business platform has impacted our lives. Now, I'm not here to pressure anyone to buy our products or to join our business. I'm simply here to just share my story and the story of my partner company, Nu Skin. It's been about 10 years since I joined the Nu Skin business full-time, and it's been one of the greatest journeys of my life. Prior to Nu Skin, I worked for a company in Los Angeles for 7 years, and my primary responsibility was handling the accounting and finances for the company. When I first started that job, I was in my early 20s, and it was great. I was earning a full-time income for the first time, and I did what most people in their 20s do when they first start making money. I spent it all. I got myself a nice car, moved into a nice apartment in downtown LA, and every chance I got, I just partied with my friends. Honestly, I had no complaints, and I was just really enjoying my life. However, in 2007, the economy started to decline, and in 2008, what we now call the Great Recession had officially begun. Now, during this time, 1 in 5 people in the US lost their jobs, and millions of people were left unemployed. My company also had to downsize, but luckily, my position was safe. However, the stress levels of my job went up considerably. And because I was handling all the finances of the company, I saw the financial projections for my company. I saw my future projections for my salary, and it wasn't that bright. It was kind of bleak. And it was at this point that, because of the hard economic times, that I was slowly starting to get burnt out. The stress levels were extremely high, especially when you're dealing with money for a company during hard hit times. The stress levels are highest for the people that are dealing with the finances. As I was getting burnt out after 2007, I continued to work for many years, and it came to a point where every Monday, the only thing that I looked forward to was Friday. I would enjoy the weekend for about 2 days, and as I lay in bed every Sunday night, I would literally dread the upcoming week. And this was the cycle that I was living for many years. Now, don't get me wrong, I had a great relationship with my boss, and I love my company, but a part of me felt like I was a slave to my job and didn't have ownership of my life. I hated that there was 7 days in a week, and I only had 2 of those days for myself. And the thought of living like that for the next 30 plus years of my life, to me, it was just unacceptable. So, at the age of 30, I quit my job and joined Nu Skin full time. And this will be my 10th year in the business, and I can't express how much and how grateful I am for the lifestyle that I now have. Even though I started Nu Skin in my 30s, I knew about the company and products since my early 20s. My father joined the Nu Skin business in the year 2000 at the age of 60 and spent 6 years in Korea and China building his Nu Skin business. However, in 2006, he came back to the US as he was having some health issues. He had a second open heart surgery shortly after his return, and he wasn't working much during that time. Now, I remember this time clearly because I was working my butt off. I was working 60 plus hours a week at my job, and I was just so burnt out. But I saw my father, recovering, from the surgery and just not really working that much, but he was receiving a monthly commission check every month without fail. And to me, that was exactly what I was looking for the freedom to live life on my own terms, not having to check into a boss, and to just kind of be free from the shackles of a job. Now, there are 2 lifestyles that everybody can choose to live. In the US, the average lifespan is around 80 years old. And for the first 20 to 25 years of our lives, pretty much everybody is busy getting an education so that we can eventually work to make money. The average retirement age in the US is 65. So for 40 years of their lives, people work very hard at their jobs. And if they're lucky enough to retire at 65, they'll enjoy their life for about 5 years. But at the age of 70, two things will typically happen. A lot of times people's health will go down and their money will also decline. Now, this lifestyle, one, should be familiar to most people because this is the lifestyle that most people, not just in the US, but all around the world live. I too was also living this lifestyle when I was at my job. But there's also another lifestyle that we can choose. Of course, the first early years are the same. We're getting an education. But working hard, now, I believe that regardless of the type of work you do, that everybody works hard. And working hard is simply not enough to be free and successful. We also need to work smart. It's only with the combination of these two things that we can have a lifestyle that offers both happiness, health, and money. If I were to ask most people around the world, what lifestyle would you choose? I'm sure the vast majority would choose lifestyle two. But most people, they just don't know how to get there. And that's really the problem. If you want to live lifestyle two and you want to really enjoy the years of your life without just being tied down to a job, you're not going to be able to live lifestyle two working for someone else. The best chance that you're going to have to live in lifestyle two is by starting your own business. For most people in a job, what they're doing, the work that they do, is doing to enrich the owners and shareholders of the company that they work for. So with all the different business options that are out there, what business do you choose? Now, when most people think about choosing a business, they think about the traditional brick and mortar business, opening up a restaurant or a clothing store. And most traditional businesses are very high risk simply because of the large capital investment that they require. And also, just because you invest a lot of money to open up a business, there's no guarantee of success. In order for any business to succeed, they need to do two things very well. I call this the front and back end. Sales and marketing is the front end, and the operations is the back end. So let's assume two different business scenarios. Let's say we open up a restaurant. The demand is high and people are lined up outside the store onto the streets. The sales are strong. However, if the back-end operations is weak, then the kitchen could be backed up, the servants aren't properly trained. What will happen? Quality and service for that business will decline, and this can affect the future success of the business. Now, let's assume the exact opposite scenario. Let's say the back end is very strong in the business. The staff is perfectly trained, the kitchen is fully stocked, the chefs are ready to go, the business is just ready to rock and roll. They open the doors, but there's no customers. If the front end is weak and there's no sales or revenues, then this will also affect the success of this business. Now, I'm sure we've all heard that most new startup businesses have a very high failure rate. And the reason for that is because most business owners can't do both the front and back end of a business successfully. Most can do one out of two very well, but for a successful business, both must be done very well. And that is why people struggle with businesses. So what sets our Nu Skin business platform apart from the traditional business? Well, I'm not an employee of Nu Skin. Nu Skin is my business partner, and as my partner, they take care of all the back-end work of operating a business. So let me show you a list of all of my partners' role in my business. Nu Skin handles everything from product R&D, manufacturing, order processing, shipping, return, legal, accounting, supply chain, and the list goes on and on. Personally, to me, this is the headache part of operating a business, and I don't have to deal with any of that in the Nu Skin platform. My role as Nu Skin's partner is to focus solely on the front end of the business, the sales and distribution of our products. Now, I can do this in two ways. Distribute the products personally to customers in my network, or I can build and train a sales team that will distribute the products to that team. Now, even though I live in Las Vegas, my sales network distributes products in different cities all around the world. Nu Skin operates in 50 markets worldwide, which gives me the opportunity to build a truly global business. Now, most product-oriented businesses have a goal of expanding globally. And with the advancement of technology, it is easy to expand the business worldwide. However, with the expansion comes many operational challenges. Let's say a business in the US wants to market their products globally. There are legal issues that need to be followed, and every country has different regulatory guidelines. Let's say you pass that hurdle and your product starts to sell. Well, the revenues that are generated overseas in that particular market will be in that market's local currency. So to bring that money back into the States, you will need to be familiar with various tax laws and also the accounting issues. Most people can't do this effectively. To do this effectively, you'll need to hire international lawyers and accountants, and they don't come cheap. My business in Nu Skin generates revenues from Americas, Asia's, and as of last year, I've been generating revenues from Europe. Revenues from Europe are generated in euros. In China, it's in RMB. In Korea, it's in their local currency, the won. And even though my business is generating sales from all these different countries, my commission check is paid like clockwork into my US bank account every month in dollars. And this is kind of the great thing about having a global business with Nu Skin, is that I don't have to deal with all of the headaches. My partner handles all of the back-end work, which includes all the different tax and legal issues, as well as the currency exchange. Now, while Nu Skin is in 50 markets worldwide, they continue to expand into new markets. Last March, the company expanded into Peru. And that new market is growing very quickly. The next two markets that the company has its eye on is Brazil and India. Now, when I first heard that Nu Skin was preparing to launch these markets, I was very excited. India, as you all may know, has a population of 1.3 billion people. And Brazil has a population of over 200 million. Now, of course, we don't know when the company will officially open in these two countries, but the next two markets alone will be over 1.5 billion people. And that in itself creates a tremendous opportunity for all of us. Now, 35 years ago, when Nu Skin first opened, they started with 13 products that you see here on this screen. And those 13 products were made with the core value of using all of the good and none of the bad. Now, these 13 products shown on this screen are still some of our best-selling products to this day. Since then, Nu Skin has launched hundreds of products, not just in beauty, but also in health and technology as well. Now, don't misunderstand. Just because a company has a lot of products doesn't make it successful. The products need to be effective, of high quality, and must be recognized as such. Over the years, Nu Skin has received countless awards and recognitions. Most notably, in 2017 and 18, Nu Skin was recognized as the world's #1 at-home beauty device brand. So, why is that exciting? The beauty device market in 2018 was valued at $39 billion, according to a market research firm. Now, more importantly, the beauty device market is projected to grow to over $107 billion by 2024. The beauty device market will nearly triple in size over the next 4 years. Now, imagine being #1 at-home beauty device brand in the world in a market that's going to grow by 3 times. Now, if you go to your Nordstrom's or your Sephora's or your shopping malls, you're not going to find Nu Skin's beauty devices on the shelves there. And it's because Nu Skin doesn't spend money to market and advertise their products. The only way that you can buy a Nu Skin beauty device is through a Nu Skin sales distributor like myself and many in this room. And right now, being the #1 brand, so many people have not heard of our amazing devices yet. That's why our company is looking for more sales leaders. Now, let's look at some of the devices that we have. The product on the left, the facial spa, also known as the galvanic spa and also galvanic spa in other markets, has done over $1 billion in sales since launching in 2001. Over 20 years on the market, and it's still one of the top best sellers today. Now the product next to it, the LumiSpa, launched just 3 years ago and is well on its way to being our next billion-dollar product. However, as Steve Jobs would always say, that's not all, there's more. The next year, Nu Skin will launch another new beauty device. And this new beauty device will boost your skin's complexion in just under 2 minutes. We're gonna see a limited pre-launch of this new device to certain sales leaders in different markets, but it'll be officially launched to the public in 2021. Now, our beauty device portfolio alone will continue to generate billions of dollars in revenues, and that's just from a couple of products that we offer. Right now, in the midst of the coronavirus crisis, our health products from our Pharmanex division have been in high demand, and the company is working diligently to make sure that we have enough products in stock. Now, because of our Pharmanex products, the state of Utah, where Nu Skin is headquartered, has recognized Nu Skin as an essential business during this crisis, so the operations have not been affected at all. We continue to operate in 50 markets around the world. The manufacturing, operations, order processing, shipping is still going on. And even though many of us here in the States are locked down in our homes, if we simply place an order for any of our nutrition or beauty products, we will get them in the next couple of days. Now, while I've just scratched the surface with our product offerings, there's so many products that we can talk about, but it'll take me literally all day to talk about all these products. And in the interest of time, I'm going to change direction to discuss the actual income earning potential of our business. Nu Skin pays back 42% of its revenues back to its sales force. And here on this page, you can see the average monthly and yearly incomes for 2018. We expect to get the average incomes for 2019 shortly when Nu Skin reports their 2019 numbers to the SEC. Now, all the information that you guys are being able to see on this screen today, all of you can verify by simply typing in the ticker symbol NUS. One of the things that I love most about Nu Skin is its transparency. Because they're my business partner, I expect them to be open, honest, and transparent with me. And because they're a publicly traded company, they need to report their financial status, the management's future plans, and their guidance every 3 months to the SEC. As you can see from these numbers here, the earnings for different Nu Skin distributors ranges from a couple $100 to a month all the way to $37,000 a month. So our business is available for people who are looking to make a couple $100 a month as a casual side gig, or tens of thousands of dollars a month for serious people who want to build a very big business. One of the things that I love most about this compensation plan is that it doesn't care about your age, your background, your education, your work experience. None of that matters. If you decide to join a Nu Skin business, whether you have a PhD from Princeton or you just graduated high school, everyone starts out at the exact same level. You start out as a brand affiliate when you sign up with Nu Skin, and your first goal is to achieve brand representative status by generating sales minimums. Now, if you think of any other career or profession, and you're going for a job against somebody that has tremendous work experience, came from an Ivy League university, and you're competing with them, more often than not, those people with the high credentials will be the ones getting the job, and they'll be the ones making most of the money. Now, growing up, I was not one of the smartest kids in school. I actually spent a lot of time just enjoying and hanging out with my friends. And, I didn't graduate from a top university. So when it came to applying for some of the jobs that I wanted, I was, not able to be competitive with the people that actually had the really high marks from those great universities. And one of the things that I love truly about Nu Skin's opportunity is that it doesn't care or discriminate against any of that. You know, a person that just graduated from high school can earn way more than a person that has a PhD from a top university. And to me, this is one of the most fair compensation systems that you can find, because you are paid based on your performance, based on your productivity and how hard you are. A lot of the times people will work their way up the corporate ladder, and a lot of the times they'll hit a glass ceiling at their jobs. And to get promoted, a lot of the times it's not going to be based on performance or productivity. It's going to be based on your relationships with your superiors, and a lot of times nepotism may even come into play. So with Nu Skin, as you become a brand rep, you can advance through the different levels of our compensation plan. As you advance through the different levels, of course, you'll see that average earnings will increase. And more important, not more important, but another great thing is that as you advance to every new level, our company has decided, how can we incentivize and motivate our sales leaders to work even harder to escalate to the next level? So the corporate management decided, you know what? Why don't we reward every person that advances to the next level with an all expense paid luxury success trip? Now, for those that like to travel, this is for you. A lot of our success trips, right now, they have been at one of the most, luxurious locations, and people just have the greatest time. And you're not going to these trips by yourself. You're going with other Nu Skin sales leaders that have also qualified for these success trips. In the US, we're particularly lucky because every 6 months, there's a new success trip that we can qualify for. In other markets like Korea or China or even in Europe, there's only a success trip that can be qualified once a year. So there's a trip once a year. However, in the Americas regions, we're able to go to a new trip every 6 months. Now, some of the past success trip locations include the Caribbeans, Ireland, Australia, South Africa, and the next trip that people are currently qualifying for is to Hawaii. Now, again, you can qualify for these trips every 6 months, and it goes from January to June qualification and from July to December qualification. Right now, for those that are really working hard to qualify for the Hawaii trip, they have till June to qualify. And July 1st, Nu Skin will announce the location of the next trip. Now, after 10 years in the Nu Skin business, my wife and I, we've been able to reach the highest levels of the compensation plan. And I can honestly say that the opportunity today is better than when we started back in 2010. When we first started back then, 10 years ago, technology and social media was not as advanced as it is today. Today, we are seeing people build global businesses from their smartphone and advancing through our compensation plan at a faster pace than we've ever seen before. At the highest level of our compensation plan, the average monthly income is $37,000 a month. Now remember, this is an average amount. There are people who make more than this amount, and there are also people who make less than that. But the beauty of this business is that that's up to you. Your earning potential is limited. So how many of brand reps with Nu Skin actually get to the highest level? Nu Skin also shares this data publicly. And to put things in perspective, about 3.5%, 3.5% of all brand reps are at the highest level of our comp plan. So that means 3.5% of all the people at the highest level make over $450,000 a year. Now, that may not sound like a very high number, but in the US, if you want to be in the top 1% of income earners, those 1%, their average income earning is about $420,000 a year. So to be in the top 1% in the US, you have to make over $420,000 a year. However, in Nu Skin, you can see that 3.5% of all the brand reps are at this top level. I thought when I first saw this, how many people can be at this level? You know, when you think of other big companies, you wonder, all right, the CEO probably makes a very high six-figure income. The CFO also probably makes a high six-figure income. And you think of the C-suite executives that are at the highest income earning brackets. You know, for most companies, there's just a handful of people that are making income at this high amount. In Nu Skin, there are thousands of people that are at this high level. Because Nu Skin operates in 50 markets around the world, there are top leaders in every single one of those regions, and that number is growing year by year. Now, will it be easy to reach the top? Of course not. It's going to be hard, it's going to be challenging, and it's going to take time. Will it be worth it? Absolutely. You know, a lot of times when I hear people talking about the network marketing business platform, you know, the mindset that they're in is a little different. Their expectations are very not realistic. You know, they think, oh, you know, just because I'm starting this business, I'm going to be able to make a six-figure income in a matter of months. And a lot of the times, the reason that they think like this is because of the way that they were introduced to the business. The person that was actually presenting the business to them was just overhyping the earnings, saying that, oh, if you just join and find this many people, then you'll be able to achieve at the highest levels. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. The average US household income in the US, the median income is about $60,000 a year. To make a six-figure income is not that easy in the US. It's really, really difficult. And it takes a lot of time. Even if it were to take you 10 years to reach the highest levels of our compensation plan, and let's say you don't even make the average income. Let's say you make less than that. 10 years to make an income and build a business that will pay you residually over the course of your life, but not just your life, over generations. You know, because our Nu Skin business is our own business, it's a willable, sellable asset. So the day that my wife and I pass, our Nu Skin income will immediately pass directly down to my son, and my son will receive our monthly commission check every month until the day he dies. This is generational wealth. This is a generational business legacy that you are building with Nu Skin. You know, I think about all the people that when they join Nu Skin and they quit because their expectations were not realistic. They think, you know, I've been doing this business for, you know, for a year, for 2 years, and I'm not making the incomes that I thought. You know, any new business or any business in the world that starts, they're not profitable in the beginning. It takes 3 to 5 years for most businesses to even break even from their initial capital investment. And most businesses in the first 5 years will not even survive. Now, with the Nu Skin business, there is no capital investment. Anybody on this call today can simply sign up and join to become a Nu Skin distributor. It doesn't cost a cent. Of course, you're going to want to experience the product. So the only cost that you may incur is the products that you want to personally use for yourself. If you were to look at this business very long term, 5 to 10 years, you know, only when you become a professional will you get to the highest levels of our compensation plan. You know, one of the most successful people that I know outside of Nu Skin is my older brother. He's a doctor and currently a dean of a medical school. And I remember when my brother, he was training to be a doctor, he was studying 4 years of undergraduate in college, 4 years in medical school, 1 year internship, 3 years in residency. And after he did all of that, that's when he was able to really make the higher incomes as a physician. And because he was able to put in all that time and effort, we see the success, and our family sees how successful he is. It takes time to become a professional and to be an expert in any field, whether you're going to do that in sales or in healthcare or in legal or in fashion. No matter what type of work you do, everybody in the beginning, when they're learning, they're not making the high levels of income. It's usually after 10 plus years where they've put in so much blood, sweat, and tears that they're able to be at the highest levels. And it's the same for our business as well. Now, in the beginning, $500 extra a month may not sound like a very high income. And, you know, I came across a statistic in the US that 70%, over 70% of most Americans don't have an extra $500 for an unexpected bill. And right now, in the midst of this crisis, there are so many people that are so stressed out and that are suffering because they've been laid off from their jobs. We are currently in an unprecedented time where millions of people are losing their jobs because of the coronavirus crisis. Most businesses have been completely shut down. And the sad reality is a lot of these jobs will not come back. Let me show you a picture of what Las Vegas looks like today. The governor of Nevada announced today that the whole state will be locked down for another 30 days. So in Las Vegas, every single hotel, resort, gambling establishment, they're gonna be shut down for another 30 days. You can see how all the lights are off. On any given day, even on the middle of a work week, the strip is usually bustling with people. There are so many people just walking the streets. Now it's just completely barren. They've laid off tens of thousands of people just like that. And all these people are trying to figure out how they're gonna pay their expenses next month. Now, there are also rumors in Vegas that the hotels are using this time of closure to upgrade their systems and technologies. And as a result, many jobs will be automated away. Even a lot of the new hotels that are being developed, there's not a front desk to check in. All of it is self-check-in through kiosks. And as all of these resorts are closed now, I'm pretty sure that many of the hotels will be upgrading their systems so that they don't have to take on all of that payroll expense. I have no doubt that we will get through this crisis, and this too shall pass. But one thing that I am certain of is that this will not be the last economic crisis that we face. If you look at the history of our economy, every 10 to 15 years, we are faced with times of great economic hardship where people lose their jobs and are confronted with financial stress and insecurity. It happened in 2008, and here we are again. It was during the 2008 recession that I realized that there is no guarantee to my job security. There's no guarantee to my financial security. And it was then that I realized and decided to build this Nu Skin business. And had I not, I too would be dealing with a lot of job insecurity and financial stress today. Thankfully, the past 10 years of doing this business has put my family in a position where our only focus and concern is to stay healthy. I don't have to worry about where our next paycheck is going to come from because we have a global business that generates sales all over the world. And right now, many people may not be so focused on beauty, but they are very focused on health. Our health products through our PharmNext division, we are so science-based that we guarantee that our products will strengthen your immune system, or we offer a money-back guarantee. We've developed a scanner technology where we can actually test your antioxidant levels, which is a direct correlation to your immune health. And if your antioxidant score does not increase after 3 months of taking our products, our company will issue you a full refund. Now, there are no other companies that will offer you a full refund after you take their products for 3 months. You can't go to GNC and say, hey, I took in your products and I don't feel healthier. I don't think that I'm healthier. Give me a refund. They won't give it back to you. But that's how much that our company stands behind our products. During this time, Nu Skin usually has an inventory, stretched out from 6 to 9 months of inventory. And with the coronavirus crisis hitting, our PharmNext, our nutritional products, our health products have been selling out so fast that Nu Skin is working around the clock to keep up with all this demand. Now, because of this, I'm also seeing that a lot of the sales leaders are not worried about where the next paychecks are coming from. These people, they can actually use this time to just focus on their health and be with their families and do the things that are important to them. Now, I'm not saying all this to impress you, but rather to impress upon all of you the need to prepare yourselves for the future. The world will come together and overcome the economic difficulties of today. But make no mistake, in another 10 to 15 years, we will be in yet another recession. It's just the cycle of our economy. Expansion, years of expansion, and then years of contraction. Years of expansion and years of contraction. This is just the way the economy works. And over the past 7 to 10 years, we have seen great economic growth. GDP is at an all-time high. The stock market is at an all-time high. And let me ask you one question. In the past 7 years, as we've been seeing record stock market growth, has your lifestyle improved that much? For most people, the answer is no. Just because GDP and the stock market is increasing so much, it doesn't mean that our day-to-day lifestyles are improving at the same levels. So when times are good, we're still getting that same paycheck, and our lifestyles are pretty much maintaining the same levels. But for some reason, when times are bad, we are greatly affected, and we go through an incredibly difficult time. What if you can build a business that requires zero investment and completely eliminate job insecurity and financial stress forever? That is the opportunity that Nu Skin is offering. This is exactly why, whether it's good times or bad times, our business is able to endure. When the economy is good, people are all happy. They're not looking for opportunity. They're not looking for different ways to supplement their income. They're looking for ways to improve their life, improve their health, improve their beauty. So as the economies are doing well, people are going out and buying more and more of our products. And during times of economic hardship, a lot of people are just looking to make a couple extra $100 a month to make, to pay their bills and pay their expenses. So their eyes are open, looking for different ways to supplement their income. And that is exactly what we are offering. Nu Skin's product is not just in the beauty and health field. It's also a product of opportunity in which we're able to create supplemental income. And we've seen an explosion in growth of the gig economy. In the past couple of years, we've been seeing people who have full-time jobs taking time out of their days and weekends to drive for Uber or Lyft, or to sell products online through Amazon or eBay, anything to just have a side gig so that they can make a little extra for their families and to improve their financial situation. We have one of the best business platforms right now to offer, because as Las Vegas is ravaged by this shutdown, so many Uber and Lyft drivers, there's no calls for them to have to give rides. So even if they want to go out and try to make income through this side gig, they're not able to. And I know people, drivers, and they're saying they've been going out driving for 10 hours a day and just being out on the road 10 hours a day, and they'll only get a couple calls and they'll say, I was out all day and I just made $20 to $30. Our business does not require us to be out and about. As you can see here, we're able to hold these type of business presentations through Zoom, through online. We call this business our phone in the pocket. It's in our pocket, it's in our homes, it's on our smartphones. We can do this business virtually anywhere. And with the power of social media today, you simply post on Facebook, you post on Instagram, depending on where your followers are located. You can have orders coming in from Canada, from Europe, from South America, and we don't even have to ship those orders out directly. We just connect them to our business platform. People in other markets around the world can just simply log in to the Nu Skin website of their particular market, place their order, and it'll be shipped directly to them. And as those sales are generated, then what happens? Nu Skin will go ahead and pay our commissions to us. We don't even have to leave our homes to do this business. Now, if you're looking for a solution to overcome the economic hardships of this crisis. I encourage all of you, talk to the person that invited you to this meeting. I briefly went over, the average income earnings. Learn about the details of this compensation plan. At the highest levels, our company is paying out 40% commissions to people who are building this business. If you look at any other sales industry, whether it's real estate, insurance, automobile sales, no matter what kind of sales industry you're in, you're never going to find a commission plan that's going to pay out up to 40%. Now, of course, you're not going to get 40% right off the bat. You're going to have to build a certain amount of volume, generate a certain amount of sales volume to achieve those higher earnings. So, I hear a lot of times people say, you know what, Paul, like, I don't like sales. I don't know how to do sales. And I get it. This was the most uncomfortable thing for me to learn because my background, as I shared with you, was in finance. For 7 years, I sat behind a desk looking at a computer screen and just crunching numbers all day long. I was not going out talking to people, meeting with people. I didn't know how to give a presentation. I didn't know how to sell or present or follow up. These are all skills that we had to learn. And for most of the people who've been in the workforce for 10, 20 years, I'm sure when you first started your career, you didn't know what you were doing. You had to be trained and you put in the years and hours and became a professional to where you can earn the higher levels of income. I believe that you're either working directly in sales or you're working in the service of sales. Let's say you're working in fashion and you're working in production. Just because you're working in production and not directly going out and doing sales, your job and your role is there because you're servicing the sales of the clothing that your company produces. Without a sales force, there is no production to be made. And the beauty of sales, yeah, it's uncomfortable, yeah, it's hard, but it's a skill that if you learn, the skills that you'll learn in sales can carry you on in any field, not just in network marketing, but in any field that you go into. Because if you want to be a sales leader, you're going to need to learn to communicate effectively. You're going to need to learn how to lead other people, lead your sales team, the communication skills, the leadership skills that is required to be successful in this business can carry over into any other field, in any other industry. So I encourage all of you right now, as we're locked down at homes, as we're practicing social distancing, I know a lot of people who, are time off from work and their heads are in the sand. They're hoping and wishing that, their jobs will be there when they get back. They're hoping and wishing that the government's going to send a bigger stimulus chance so they can pay their bills. And they're just watching TV. And some are just drinking or hanging out and just waiting for things to get better. Rather than waiting, wishing, and hoping, why not use this time to develop a new skill, to learn something new, so that we can actually improve the quality of our lives? If you felt that you were not prepared for this economic hardship right now that we're going through, use this time to prepare yourself for the next one that will inevitably come in the years to follow. So as we move forward, this was the first English Zoom meeting that we do, and we're going to be doing this on a weekly basis. Next week, we're going to be talking about products. Other times, we're going to start doing trainings. We encourage you to plug in every single Wednesdays for our English meetings so that we can continue to grow and share our new skin products worldwide. Again, I encourage all of you to talk to the person that invited you to this meeting today, and let's really use this time to better our future and to better our lives. I wish all of you during this time health. I hope that you're not too stressed out. I hope that if you are stressed out, that we can really just come together so that we can learn together. This is not a business that's done by yourself. It's a team effort. It's a collective effort. Even in this room alone, there are people that are not even in my organization. There's no financial connection to the other sales leaders in this Zoom call. Yet we know one thing for sure, that all ships rise with the rising tide. And when we put our heads together, we put our energy together, and we say, you know what? Let's just build the new skin market in America because so many people are in need of opportunity at this time. We know we can do great things. So thank you for your time. I encourage you all, stay healthy, be happy, and I look forward to seeing you guys at our next call. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul, for your wonderful insight into what the news is about. To close off for you guys, if you ever thought about working for yourself, if you're tired of depending on other people for advancement, if you're looking to build your own business and creating a financial future, I hope what you heard today has resonated with you. And I hope that it will help you make the decision of why Nu Skin might be the right vehicle for you. So if you'd like to watch the conference call again, I will be posting it in our new Himalaya Group page. I'll also provide a YouTube link so that you can have a chance to share it with others.